As an employer or a manager, your time is limited and you are busy. The less time you spend putting out fires in the workplace and getting back to what you want to do, the better. So how can we do this? One of the great ways is understanding the drama cycle, which is made up of 3 key roles. Just as an overview, you've got the victim who always needs to be right. There's always a complaint. The victim loves an audience. In fact, they feel loved when they have an audience, whether that is an audience of one or an audience of many. They don't tend to like solutions very much. And in fact, when you offer them, they do get a little bit perturbed because you're compromising their ability to remain as the victim. And they may respond to you in ways like, I have no choices. I've tried that. Nothing works. Then, of course, you have the rescuer who is there to make everything better. And the rescuer will pick up the load. The rescuer generally has all of the answers, and they quite often feel that they are the ones that can save the day. A victim who feels compromised will always attract a rescuer who will sit there and listen or offer well-meaning advice on what they could do to solve it. But I want to focus today on the persecutor, because this is the one that you, as a visionary manager, wants to be aware of, because it's the persecutors in your workplace that you may not spot quite so easily, but they're also the people that will result in a lawsuit if not handled correctly. So how do you know if you have a persecutor on staff, and what do you do about it? Great question. The persecutors are often the ones that are your right hand. They are the ones that seem so helpful to you because they have their finger on the pulse. They know what needs to be done. They know who's letting the side down, and they will come to you and share this information with you readily. Now, to you, they're going to seem like really helpful members of staff, and you may even defer to them and unofficially promote them as your right-hand person, as I said. But the side that you see of a persecutor is not the side that your team sees. And let's face it, it's your team that generates your income. So if your team is not happy, we need to do something. A persecutor always knows whose fault it is, and they will come to you. They're kind of renowned as, remember when we were at school and if we told on somebody, we'd be called a dobber. Well, that's your persecutor. They will come to you with all of this information, expecting you to act on it. But out there in the team, they behave very differently. They make it very clear that they are in charge. They will flaunt your allegiance with them like a flag. They will make it very clear that people need to be nice to them because they have a direct inroad into you. And in fact, you've probably already got staff coming to you, telling you about this character, but it's hard for you to believe because they're just so helpful to you, and they come across to you as humble, kind, caring, and helpful. The opposite is true out there on the floor. And if you could find some way to do an undercover boss, you might actually get a bit of an awakening as to what they really are like. In fact, your persecutors are renowned for setting up people, for going to one person and starting rumors and gossip about another person so that people will start feuding, especially those that have initiative and are viewed favorably by the organization. So what do? If you do have somebody coming to you saying, so-and-so is not happy about something, or I've noticed that so-and-so is late into work every day, or so-and-so is leaving early, or I overheard a phone call the other day between so-and-so and a stakeholder, which is concerning and you probably should do something about it. These are the comments you're going to get. The easiest way to solve it is to realize that the persecutor's favorite game is having you on side, but don't tell anybody. So they'll give you all this information, but they actually won't do anything about it themselves. In fact, they may even say to you, look, off the record, this is what's happening. And if you have had someone say that, then we need to be doing something, and fairly quickly. Now, these people can be a little bit scary. So the last thing we want to do is to say to them, I'm sorry, but this is none of your business, because then we become the persecutor. And that's the last thing you want. We don't want to be saying, well, I don't know if I can do anything about that. And really, it's not your place. And because we're human, we don't like confrontation. So I've got a couple of tips here for you. And these work like a treat. And you'll only have to do them a couple of times before the persecutor suddenly realizes, oh, no, because my manager is going to thrust me into self-accountability if I say that. And that's their nemesis. Self-accountability? Don't be daft. That's for everyone else, not for me, says the persecutor. So if somebody does come to you and say, oh, I've noticed that so-and-so is coming in late to work every day, all you say to this person is, great, thank you for bringing that to my awareness. Would you mind going and getting them? The three of us will sit here and we'll have a bit of a conversation about that, because that is important. And you're going to find your persecutor is going to go, oh, let's just give them another couple of days and see if it continues. Because the last thing they want to do is being shown up for the stuff that they're saying. Next, if they come to you and say something like, so-and-so is not happy because they're sitting next to so-and-so and there's a problem brewing. Your answer in this case would be, wow, yes, I can see how that would be a problem, because we always want to acknowledge first. I can see how that would be a problem, but I'll go and have a word with so-and-so and get them to come to me if that is an issue, because they need to bring that to me, because then I'll be able to solve that for them. So it's about not using the persecutor as the middleman. It's about saying, well, if it is a problem, they can come to me. Lastly, if a persecutor comes to you with juicy information, because they love this, they're like sharks in the water when there's a scandal. Oh, they cannot wait to tell you about it. In fact, they might even ring you at home because you two are just like this. And when they say to you something like, oh, did you see blah, 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 or they launch into something that actually isn't really that nice, but you don't know what to do, you say these words, these magic words, and they will solve the problem every time. In fact, these words will stop gossip in its tracks every single time you use them. What are the magic words? The magic words are, why are you telling me this? And then you just have a puzzled look. What do you think they're going to do? And you want to say it without any attitude, like, why are you telling me this? You don't want to do that, because then you become the persecutor. You want to be genuinely interested, but also draw that boundary of, okay, so I'm not sure. Why are you telling me this? Very, very quickly, that persecutor is going to go, oh, well, I thought you should know. Oh, okay. So why do you feel that's important for me to know? Your persecutor is then going to drop straight into the victim cycle and go, well, I'm only trying to help. You know, I thought you'd want to be on top of these things. Don't worry, it's fine. I won't say anything else. And then they'll probably leave your office. And you can go, wow, I just went on a trip around the drama cycle. Wouldn't it be great if, you know, tripping around the drama cycle, you actually got your steps on your Fitbit? Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, I tell you what, we would be up to 75,000 steps a day. There are loads and loads of ways that you can get your staff out of the drama cycle. And more importantly, as a visionary leader, make sure that you're not in it, because as they say, behavior in a workplace is being led from the top down. So if you are finding yourself in the drama cycle, I know that you'll be wanting to get yourself off it, because that's not what you want. You want to get back to work, doing what's important to you and not solving problems all day, don't you? So if you would like to know more information about how to get off the drama cycle and how to lead your staff out of it as well, I would love to be your tour guide. I'm Leanne from Reboot Mindset Coaching, and I invite you to jump on over to our website, which is rebootyourlife.com.au. Hit that book button, book a free consult, and let's have a chat just about the characters that are on the drama stage in your workplace and how we can take that from a tragedy to a success story, because that's what you want and you've worked hard for it.